pots and pans, bits and pieces, and the magic from the handle making weird science. Oh, things I've never seen before. Behind bolted doors, talent and imagination, weird science. Not what teachers said to do, making dreams come true, living tissue, warm flesh, weird science. Oh, plastic tubes and pots and pans, bits and pieces, and bits and
Bits and pieces and bits and my creations.
Is it real? It's my creation. Ooh, my creation. It's my creation. Weird science. Weird science. Oh, magic and technology. Voodoo dolls and chants. Electricity will make it. Weird science. Fantasy and microchips. Shooting from the hip. Something different will make it. Weird science. Oh, pictures from a magazine. Diagrams and charts. Mending broken hearts and make it. Weird science. Something like a recipe. Bits and pieces. Bits and pieces. Bits of my creation. Is it real? It's my creation. I do not know. Hesitation. The heart of gold. There's flesh and blood. I do not know. I do not know. From my heart and from my hand. Why don't people understand my intentions? Ooh, weird science. Magic and technology. Weird science. Things I've never seen before. Behind open doors. Weird science. Not what teachers said to do. Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces and bits and my creation.
Is it real?
Is it real?
It's my creation. I do not know. No hesitation. No heart of gold. There's flesh and blood. I do not know. It's my creation. It's my creation. Oh, my creation. Ooh, my creation. It's my creation. From my heart and from my hand. Why don't people understand my intentions? Ooh, weird. Ooh, weird science. Weird. Weird science. Bits and pieces. Bits and pieces. Bits and weird science.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. Thank you. The live stream edition, that's right. Brought to you by Judy Hopps. Judy Hopps for what was the town in that movie?
Zootopia.
Zootopia. Yeah. For the Judy Hopps representing the finest that Zootopia has to offer. So when you're in Zootopia, look her up, give her a high five. She'll certainly appreciate it. Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. Joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original. You like that? The one, the only, the original, Mighty Bell. How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
You know what? Better now that we're here. How are you tonight?
I'm always better when I'm live. I just, you know what? I wait all day, and I'm tweetering and talking on Discord and Telegram and all this stuff. But this is what we do this for. This is why I retired right here, just to do this. Here at the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus on to use case cryptos because, as we know, or as we should know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo, it's no longer acceptable, hasn't been for years. It's time for technological revolution. Welcome to crypto and welcome to the podcast. And thank you. So we got another Egis meeting after this. As soon as we wrap up, me and Bell, we're getting with the team and we're going to start discussing. We had to bring on a project manager. It turns out I can't do everything. It turns out Bell can't do everything either. And with the other things that we have to do, we need someone that's going to be solely focused on communication because we're like 5 weeks from release. And I'm not going to lie, guys, man, I'm nervous. I am nervous as hell. I know you're supposed to be mortally embarrassed by your first release, but we have so much that's riding on this. Not just money. I mean, it almost goes to credibility at this point, but we're out to prove everybody wrong. And man, that is a lot of weight. That is a lot of weight to carry around. Now, if we were more, I don't know, cavalier about the ethos of it, we could probably get through this a hell of a lot easier. But we're not. We're all the way 100% serious about leaving a legacy behind us, leaving something that is literally is advantageous to mankind as a whole. And that's a lot of weight, man. It's a lot to carry. I'm not going to lie. I'm incredibly nervous about it. It works great. All right. What it's supposed to do, it does it wonderfully. We're not building this for to please everybody because there's just no way to do it. We are building very, very narrow and very, very deep so that what we do better than anybody else. And that's it. That's our entire goal, is to do one thing supremely well. And then and then try to keep our heads above water. That's it. After that, we're dog paddling, just trying to keep our heads above water to see if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. I'm not going to lie, guys, man. Look, I'm all in on this. All right, I'm 100% all in. My funds are very, very well spoken for to try to make sure that we make a go of this because I don't see any other way for crypto. I just don't. Bella and I were listening to an AMA today with Charles Hoskins with the ADA, the man, the myth, the legend himself. And the guy's incredibly well spoken. He's very, very focused. He knows what he's doing and he knows how he wants to get there. But I believe that his premise that he's starting from is actually faulty. And what I mean by that is it's going to come down to ethos. And the reason that Bitcoin came into existence, the reason that Ethereum came into existence, the reason that all of these things came into existence was for ethos. And the ethos of blockchain has, up until recently, been don't ask permission. We're not asking for permission, and we're not asking for forgiveness. We are simply utilizing technology to a new technology to kind of push mankind as a whole forward a little bit. And we lost our way on that, guys. We have forgotten the face of our father. I'm going to quote Stephen King from the Gunslinger series. Douchebag, by the way. I mean, this guy has just completely lost himself. He forgot the face of his own damn father, but it doesn't matter. What I mean by that is that we forgot what we were in this for, and we turned it into a circus. We turned blockchain as a whole into a carnival. I mean, literally turned it into a carnival where the idea is that you roll into town, you put up the banners, you put the pretty girls out front, the flashing lights, the fireworks, you get people in, you get every goddamn nickel out of their pockets. And when they don't have any money left, you roll up the tents and you move to the next town. Now, that's the carnival model, and that is effectively what we've turned blockchain into. I disagree with that. I disagree with that fully because decentralization, real decentralization is the only thing that's going to separate us from a complete iron boot on our neck saying who we can talk to, what we can talk about, and we need to make sure that people are listening. Now, Blockchain solves all those problems because you simply cannot. That was the original ethos, that we build it and we use it. And we don't ask permission to do any of those things. So every time I hear somebody like Hoskins getting up there and saying, we just need more regulation, we just need the government to come on board. I've been looking at Twitter all day. Everybody's going nuts. Kamala is now embracing crypto. It's pure gaslighting. I think anybody who's aware of politics, even in the least little bit, is aware that she is just purely gaslighting this space for votes. But it goes to a whole is the fact that the people who exist in this space, who live their lives in this space, the people who are Web3 are sitting out here saying, great, we have the government and they're going to come in and they're going to give us their blessing and then everything will be better. Guys, blockchain wasn't built for the government. It wasn't built so that we could get the government blessing to build things. It was built so that we didn't need the government blessing to build things. There's a reason that it's international. There's a reason that these L1s have 100 validators that are located all over the world. There's a reason for all of this stuff. And it's not so we can ask permission. It's so we don't have to. But you get the big heads of state here, the big, the big brujas, the guys who built their L1s and are now sitting here bending the knee, trying to get the government to come on board with them, trying to say, yes, we're doing it better than anybody else. And all we need is your permission. That ain't blockchain, babe. That's not even close to the ethos of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology goes the other way. It's saying, try to stop us. Knock yourself out. But we got away from that. So the little app that we're building here is getting back to the ethos of blockchain, meaning that we don't have to ask permission, meaning that you can trust your technology, that you can trust what's going out there because you can verify every step of the way. That when you use the Egis app, and I sure hope you do, but when you use the Egis app and you take a picture or a video or a document or anything that's important to you and you send it up to Jackal Storage, that you know that it's now in the safest place on earth for it. Nobody else can do it. Not the way they're doing it. So that is getting back to the ethos of blockchain, and that's why we're doing this. Now, we're up against it. I'm not going to lie, man. We are absolutely up against it because even though the app itself is very, very simple, very easy to understand, we're not even launching tutorials with it. We don't need to. If you cannot figure this out and you own a cell phone, we're probably not the app for you. So I'm not going to spend a whole hell of a lot of time showing you how to use an app that is literally saying push here, push here. If, my time is limited, Bell's time is limited, we can only do so much. So tutorials are not on the top of our list. But at launch, anybody should be able to download this app and figure it out inside of 15 seconds. Now, the good news is that we're launching with the free 2 gig plan. So you will have access to 2 gigabytes of Jackal hot storage data for free forever. And if you like it, and you can figure it out and you want to carry on with us, fine. Give us some money. We're going to secure your data for you. If you don't, thank you for at least giving us a try. But this is more important than us. It's more important than, honestly, I think it's more important than damn near anything out here that's happening in crypto. As much as I admire ZK rollups and as much as I admire bridging token A to chain B to chain C, as much as I admire that and I understand the necessity of it, it's not going to get consumers over here. It's not going to get people into blockchain. If you want to get people into blockchain, they cannot know that they're using blockchain. That's the hill I'm going to die on. I believe that I'm correct because we keep saying, and Hoskins said it, well, we're still early. You're 9 years old. You've been doing this shit for 9 years. We're not early after 9 years. Not with the ability to move information from point A to point B to point C and everybody effectively carrying a computer in their pocket the entire time. You can't say people just don't know. If they don't know, it's because they don't want to know. Now that you could say that that's your job, get them to come in, move some money in, figure it all out, get some money out to your blockchain, buy meme tokens and horse around. You could say that that's the mission. You could say that. I disagree with it. Fundamentally, I disagree with it. I say, why don't we wrap up all this super cool blockchain, provide a service, see if they'll pay for it. Why don't we try that? Because nobody's been trying that. So, yeah, I think we're on the right track. Not going to lie. Again, extremely nervous about this. Yeah, it's going to be rough. I don't know, Bill, where are you at on this, man? Are you comfortable?
I'm nervous as well. There's a lot on this. I mean, couple of years worth of effort, and yeah, this is nothing to it's definitely nothing. It's nothing to just throw away. I mean,
well, I don't even know.
The time.
I don't even know how to pitch it. That's kind of the bear. I don't even know how to pitch it right. Because do we want to appeal to the crypto audience, or do we want to appeal to the Web 2 world? Which way do we want to go with this? I don't even know. There's always going to be an education element with this. Now, we have tried to we've chopped it down as much as we could to make this thing as inexpensive as we possibly can. And the only reason we can do that is because we're only paying Jackal $15 per terabyte. So that is our value proposition right there, is going to be price. That's the value prop that we have to push out to Web 2. But is it going to be enough? Is that going to be enough to really come over there and get us over the hump? Or are we going to have to go on this massive education campaign pointing out all the flaws with Big Cloud the way it is right now? You want to see what
when aren't we on a major education campaign anyway? So
I gave that up a year ago, Belle. We'll talk about it a little bit, but I gave that up a year ago. People don't care. They simply do not care. There's the 1 out of 100 that really cares how a bridge works and all of that. But everybody else just wants to know, will that get enough action to make the token go up? That's crypto. All right. That's the crypto audience that we have. We did it to ourselves. It's our own fault. And you get what you don't get the world you want. You get the world that you create. And this is the world that we created. So I could sit here and bang my head against the wall over and over and over, or I can simply hit the basic ethos of what Egis is, and that is privacy, performance, and price. That's it. That's Egis in a nutshell. Those 3 little P's right there. Something that's easy to message, easy to get out. Now, we're going to have to spend some time showing it. I get that. We're going to be doing it at NFT Nashville. That's our big thing if you guys are coming in. If anybody needs NFT Nashville tickets, by the way, hit up Belle. I'm sure we can get you taken care of if anybody's going to be in the area. Come meet me. Come meet Belle. She'll give you hugs and kisses or whatever it takes to get you in the room. You don't have to gasp. We've already talked about this. She's a very friendly gal. That's what I'm saying. We were also having a giggle about that, the Girls of Cosmos, because you got the whole Girls of Cardano things that's going on over there. The Girls of Cosmos, but there's only like 4 of you. I mean, that's it. That's the whole Girls of Cosmos. In the calendar, you would have to show up 3 times. You'd get January, August, and September. That's Belle, the Girls of Cosmos. But no, we might have some surprises for you guys there. So if you're going to be anywhere near the Nashville area at the time, want to come in, have a real good time. NFT Nashville, if you're hurting, can't really do something, talk to Belle. Maybe we can get something worked out. Anyway, guys, that's kind of it. I needed to get that off my chest. I appreciate it. We're cranking on this, man. Like literally, as soon as we're done with this, we're going to push over. And what we're going to be discussing with the team here afterwards goes kind of philosophically. And honestly, I'd like you guys' input. You are most likely going to be the people who are going to be using Egis right out the gate, and I'd love your viewpoint. And we'll discuss value proposition. And that's really where it's going to come down to this is, what are we? What is our value proposition? And what should we really embrace? So we're going to get to that. But real quick, Belle, I got music lined up, hon. I want to play some music tonight. I need to relax. So let's go ahead and do that. But before we do we have any questions, comments, or concerns? I can't imagine anybody stuck around through my little bearing of soul. So go ahead, Belle.
Actually, we've got more people than you think we do, but Nuclear Chicken coming in with the first question. When AMP merger with XRP?
AMP with the XRP, that ain't never gonna happen, dude. I know where you're going with that. That's never gonna happen. We're actually integrating Flexa. We're integrating the Flexa SDK into Egis. Now, for what it's worth, we want to implement as many payment options as we can into this app because we want our customers comfortable. So if this is what they want to use, we want to make sure that we provide an avenue for them to use it. If they would like to use crypto to pay for this app, which I think would be fantastic, go for it. Now, we can't accept the crypto because we don't have a money transmitter license, but Flexa can. Flexa does have a money transmitter license in like 38 states, so they can. So if you would like to pay with crypto, we're going to integrate the Flexa SDK. The docs are good. We're just waiting to hear back from them. We need a key, and when they provide us that key, which it's in their interest to do so as well, then we will have Flexa is going to be taking care of our crypto payrail. So that's kind of a good thing. And it helps everybody here, man. Look, this is what I've been getting at for years and years and years, particularly around like the AMP token. The AMP token, look, man, I got no love for it. I won't. I'm not going to change my mind on that. I think they missed their window. But from my chair, from where I'm sitting, it works just fine for me because it's a tool. That's all that matters to me is, can it perform the task that I need it to perform? Now, in this case, it can. So what's going to happen? Any transaction that happens over there on Flexa, on the Egis app, Flexa is going to take 1%, still cheaper than credit cards. All right, credit cards are about 3.3%. Flexa will only take 1%. They're going to take that money that they get from the Egis app. They're going to use it to buy AMP tokens. They're going to drop those tokens out to the stakers, and it puts buy pressure on the token. Now, this is the way it's supposed to be. So whether I like that token or not is irrelevant. The fact is that the price of the token is irrelevant to me because the price of the token is irrelevant to the Flexa SDK. It will simply perform a function. That's all we need it to do. So instead of it buying $15 worth of AMP at 12 cents, it's going to buy $15 worth of AMP at .004, which is about where it is. So the protocol itself will operate just fine, and it doesn't care what the price of AMP is. Now, it is buy pressure on the token. That was the whole idea behind this. They're going to need massive integration to really start moving the needle over there. But the breakdown of it is that they can take anybody. They can take us. It's available on Android. It's available on iOS. We're going to be launching on Android and iOS. It works perfectly. So, yeah, we're going to I'm not supporting a token in this case. I'm supporting a tool. They're providing it to me, we're integrating it, and off we go. So if it happens to make the price of AMP go up, I don't see how. We'd need 1 million plus customers, Bell. I'm not going to say that we're going to hit 1 million plus. I'm going to say we're going to try to. But it's going to take that to really, really move the needle. That's 1 million plus consumers that are paying with crypto. And I don't believe that we're not there yet. But if we can help them get over the hump, I don't expect them to give us any branding. They never will. Nobody will ever come out and say, yeah, we're part of Egis. We're going to support it. I tried it with the cash. I tried it with DVPN, and nobody's ever given us a call out. Nobody's ever came back and said, yep, they're going to be using us. We're going to make money on their efforts. Nobody's ever done that before. I don't expect Flexa to even list us as a partner. They'd rather have Nighthawk Wallet listed as a partner instead of an app that is going to be pushing up to 25,000 daily active users. But you know, it doesn't matter. Hope that answered the question. Belle, please carry on.
All right. Code R1, crypto dying, but Scott will save crypto.
You know what?
No pressure. No pressure there.
You know what? Honestly, man, look, this is the only way out. I don't see another way out for us, guys. I don't. Unless you simply want to bend the knee completely to government and turn into a plaything for them, because that's what Hopkins was talking about. That's what these big talking heads of these big chains are talking about, is we just need regulation. We just need some friendly legislators that are going to come up here and pave the way so that we can start getting 401k money, so that we can start getting more money pushed out here that we can fuck off and bury. That's what they're asking for. I reject that. I 100% reject that. And my money is exactly where my goddamn mouth is, because nobody gave us shit to build this app. Not a single grant, not a single nod, not a single call out. I mean, I never thought that we'd be fighting the crypto community to build a crypto app that drives value to so many crypto chains. And we've never gotten a call out. It is not showed up over there, man. We don't care if you buy the goddamn token. What?
Ironically, there was a group that did a space this morning that actually did talk about Egis, and I was shocked about who it was.
Who was it? Who talked about Egis?
It was Archway.
No,
Yes.
those guys have gotten a lot wrong. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. They brought it
they-
up multiple times.
You know, we had talked to Archway, man. They looked right through us. They just said, nope. Thanks. You know what? If you build on Archway, we'll give you a gas allotment. So they'll pay the gas as long as we build up over there. They didn't offer to help us. They didn't offer to support us. They didn't offer any of that shit. They said, we'll give you a gas allotment. I was like, oh, you mean you're going to give us your money that you're going to take right back as long as we spend all of our money to develop on your chain? Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. But I'm glad that they're at least seeing it the right way.
Yeah.
Because that is the right way. And it's kind of funny because I don't think any other chain out here is as positioned to do exactly this, to do the app thesis, to say, what if we went with nothing but apps? What would happen? Nobody out here is as positioned to do this as Archway is. The problem is, I think whoever's running that is like Scrooge McDuck. He ain't going to open that wallet, babe. It just is not going to happen. They're not going to tap that $10 million that they have sitting there, regardless of the value proposition of it. So anyway, Bal, we'll get back to questions in a minute here. I want to play a song. I got like 4 or 5 of them up here, Bel. Let me see. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick a number, and that's the one that we're going to do.
Let's go 4.
1, 2, 3. Oh, you're going to love this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So for fans of 70s and 80s television, Bell picked this song. I hope you enjoy it. I remember it. I remember it very fondly and nostalgically, and I hope you do as well. Go ahead. Take it away, boys.
Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. It should have been somebody else. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Just like the light of a new day, it hit me from out of the blue, breaking me out of the spell I was in, making all of my wishes come true. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. I just did Belle dirty. I just did her very, very dirty, Belle, and I do apologize. I want to bring you full screen. We connect over Zoom when we're doing these streams. So the only way she can hear what I'm playing is if I share my screen and share the audio. And I didn't do it. So she didn't hear the song. She literally pinged me during it and she said, "What song is it?" And the hint was so subtle that I missed it. And I just explained. You know why I explained about because Belle's still a baby. She's still a young girl. And I wasn't sure if she's ever seen the show, The Greatest American Hero. I wasn't sure if she'd ever seen it. I thought she was literally asking me. I've never heard of this song before. I don't know the show. I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm gonna take a little pass on that one, Belle. But it was the greatest theme from The Greatest American Hero. It's a fantastic. The show was awful. I mean, it was so 70s, 80s. It was just dreadful, and I loved every second of it because I love the shows that try so hard to fly and end up going Icarus just right into this. So I admire it. I thought it was fantastic. Anyway, Belle, back to questions, comments, or concerns. I saw one from Deep House Nation. So maybe let me address that one first, Belle, then we'll get to the rest. From Deep House Nation, my song, If When Jackal Hits $1. I don't do price speculation, brother. I don't. Let me just say that I have an awful lot of my own money that is wrapped up into the success of this. And it's not because I expect to get wealthy, because I'm doing okay right now. I could walk away from all of this, man, and I could be comfortable. But it's because they are simply doing it better. And it's kind of funny because all of the tattletales that you need, man, they're already out there. They're already out there. Filecoin right now is trying to implement another step to provide hot storage. Now, they're not going to be able to. They will, and I took a look at their method, and it's completely centralized. And if you don't mind centralized, go for it. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. But they got to the point where people are starting to realize that one of the P's really matters, and that P is performance. Now, Filecoin is excellent at what they do. I'm not going to take away from something with a $500 million market cap. It's clear that they have the will of the people. But if you need an active storage environment, Filecoin ain't it, man. All right, they are excellent at what they do. They are excellent at you tucking away documents that you don't ever need again. They are open in case of death, that kind of thing. They're great at that. They're great at Arctic storage. The price is good. They use a Google bridge, so it's a little bit centralized, and you're going to be sharing all that information with Google. But most people are anyway, and I don't think they really care. If they did, we would have heard something before now. But they're great at what they do. But what they do is not what Jackal can do. If that was the case, we would have built on Filecoin. They'd have likely given us a grant to build it, a mobile Filecoin. I think people would have been all over it. They would have likely given us a grant, made a bunch of money on this, build the app, walk away from it. We could have done that. But we didn't do that. We chose a hard road because we believe that we believe in the 3 Ps: price, performance, and privacy. We believe in all of those things, and we can't get those on Filecoin. So there it is. I expect the price to do well. Just going to leave it there. Belle, please carry on.
Nuclear Chicken, win YouTube engagement token.
YouTube, you got to add to that, dude. I don't know what the hell that is. And, as far as YouTube goes, YouTube is more or less a captured audience. The people who have followers right now will keep their followers, even though they're bleeding down to nothing. And anybody else who's trying to start a crypto channel right now is just going to fail miserably, man. People are jaded. People in the crypto world are incredibly jaded. And hearing another guy pop on, spin up a YouTube channel, and talk about how you're going to 100x this coin, that was 2022, man. All right, we're not in 2022 anymore. All that stuff is gone. I would love, if I had anything to say to the YouTube audience, man, look, is the algorithm is what it is. And we are incredibly fragmented out here in the crypto reporting world. This is a crypto reporting show, and we're incredibly fragmented. Everybody is still spinning up and doing their own thing instead of getting behind any one person. If I saw somebody out here that was saying the things that I say, that saw the market the way that I see it, and I could support that person, I would absolutely support that person. The podcast would be gone. It's bigger than me, man. It's bigger than me. So if that's what it took, I would absolutely fall on my sword again to do it, because I don't make my money on YouTube. But if I did have a message, people, you guys are going to have to rally around somebody. Pick the guy, because the algorithm is what it is. And when you have 85 people attending a live stream, 100 people attending a live stream, it goes right to the top of the list. So anybody who's currently searching YouTube, which are hundreds of millions of people, are going to see that stream showing up. And when that stream shows up, they're more likely to click on it because it's got the YouTube blessing. And then they actually get to get in there and hear a real message. But until people are willing to do that, which they are simply not, Bell and I have been doing this for 5 years. And our message is good, but we're never going to crack that because people are incredibly cultish. They stick to the person that they know. They still believe technical analysis is got weight enough that you can invest based on what a guy on YouTube said. So we're never going to crack that. But I'll tell you what, you got any ideas, brother? I'm all ears. Bell, carry on.
All right, Kodar 1. He should have used Jackal storage. He had terabytes of stuff found.
Isn't that funny, man? Because if he did, they would have found nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because unless he enabled them, sure, you need my passwords? Sure, here's all my passwords. You need all of my seed phrases? Sure, let me give those over to you. If Diddy had used Jackal storage, they would have absolutely nothing right now because it can't be cracked. If it could have, it would be right now. They literally have a wallet sitting up there with $100,000 in it. I get it. That's not a lot of money in the crypto world, but for most people, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So yeah, they literally have a seed phrase to a wallet sitting in there. If you can crack that file, get it. You got the seed phrase, you got all the money, and a round of applause for you. But that wallet is still there. That file is still secure. Everything that you're expecting from the Jackal team, it's still performing as designed. So, yes, if Diddy had all those terabytes of video, and, man, I bet there's some heinous shit in there, Bill. What do you think about that? I bet
there is.
I could not imagine the horror, the absolutely horror scene that you're going to see when you start looking through those videos. But had they been on Jackal, they would still be on Jackal, and all we would be doing is speculating, man. Look, it is what it is. Any libertarian type of product that offers individual privacy is always going to be looked down upon. And you'd get half this country, 80% of this country say, no, we should be able to see the Diddy videos. And you're going to have 20%, the silent minority over there saying it's his property, man. Doesn't belong to you. Whether there was whatever was happening on there, as long as he did not make them personally public, it's his property, man. So it is what it is. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right, so next one coming in from Kodar 1. Why and how does AMP always find its way back into conversations?
Because
I'll take the first crack at this.
Okay.
Kodar 1, it's because in this case, they produce the Flexa SDK, which actually works and is actually functional. And we don't want to isolate anyone from being able to use Egis when there's options for them to pay with.
Okay, and you know what? I'll give Bell a round of applause. It's a good answer. It's a good answer. It's not particularly my answer, but Bell and I don't agree on everything. There's still things she's wrong about that I haven't fixed her yet, but give me time. I got time, man. I'm very persuasive. They're a tool. The Flex SDK is a tool, man. That's all it is. I've made call-outs on Twitter. I've talked to teams. I have went around and around asking people, do you have a payrail that we can use on the Egis app? And we either get completely ghosted or the answer is simply no. They do have a tool that we can use. You guys have to understand what Egis is, man. All right, Egis is a combination of a whole lot of tools that we bundled together to make a consumer-facing app that gives you something that you've never had before, which is the trustless data storage. We're not asking you trust us. We're not going to copy it. We're saying we fucking can't do it. It literally cannot be done. The only thing we're ever going to get from you guys through Egis is a bunch of ones and zeros because the data is encrypted off your phone. If you wonder why it's a slightly little bit slower than Dropbox, even though it's from our benchmarks, it's really not. But if you wonder why, it's because your phone has to encrypt everything before you send it to us. AE256 encryption, it's the industry standard. And when they come up with a new industry standard, we will implement the industry standard. We can never, ever, ever see what you put up to us. We have no idea what the hell it is. You agree to pay us for a service, and we agree to honor that service. Meaning that we will push your data onto Jackal, and Jackal has agreed to host it. That's it. That is our entire proposition between you and me. That's it. So they provide a tool that we need. I have went around and around because I believe that this would be a massive market. Because I believe that apps are the way out of this. And we happen to be the first people asking for it, but we're not the only people that are going to be asking for it. And a team that realizes the value proposition of this very thing right here and actually cranks us out something is going to be a very, very wealthy team. But right now, the entire mindset of crypto has nothing to do with that, has nothing to do with consumers. Even though there are 8 billion people on this planet that could be paying you money. For some reason, that's not interesting. What's interesting is getting politicians on board to tell you to embrace and endorse what you're doing there. That seems to be the interest. Not the 8 billion people out here that could benefit from blockchain technology. We don't care about those guys. We do. Egis does. I care very, very deeply. So until I can find an acceptable substitute, we are big fans of Flexa because they did release the SDK and we can implement it. That's it. I'm not embracing their company and I don't give a fuck about the AMP token. Don't care. What I care about is that you can use them to pay me for the service that I'm going to provide. That's it. If there was somebody else, we'd be going with them. But right now there isn't. So anyway, hope that answered the question. Bell, carry on.
Nuclear chicken. What is Scott drinking tonight?
Scott is drinking Jefferson's Tropics Aged in Humidity. Apparently that's a big deal, aging in humidity. I need a pinky ring, Bell. Can you get me a pinky ring? I need a pinky ring so when I tap the bottle here, you hear clink, 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 clink. That's what we're drinking tonight. I've been a fan of Jefferson's. They got a lot of different bourbons, man. And I've been a fan of those guys for a while. But for some reason, this Tropics Aged in Humidity, it just has a very, very wonderful oaky taste, man. I don't know what they do to it. I'm not a distiller. I don't make bourbon. I don't even know how it's made. All right, I stay in my lane, and my lane is not making this stuff. But my lane is drinking this stuff, and I appreciate what we got with our Jackal glass. By the way, if you want a Jackal glass, reach out to Coney Daddy. I think he's the one getting a minute. But these are excellent, by the way, and the booze tastes good. Anyway, hope that answered the question. Bell, carry on one more, and then we're going to a song.
All right, Nuclear Chicken. Are the conversations at NFT Nashville being live streamed on YouTube or OmniFlix or somewhere?
We tried to hook up with OmniFlix to see if they would make a special one-off for us because we are streaming a crypto conference, and I haven't heard back from them. So let's just say it's going to be via restream, so it'll be available on YouTube, it'll be available on X, it'll be available on Twitch, it'll be available on Facebook, and we're going to stream the entire thing. I don't think Tank or Joe watch my show anymore. If they do, dude, we need a list of guests and the order that you want them interviewed, because Bella and I are presenting at least one product, hopefully two. It's going to depend on the gelato guys, but we're going to be presenting at least one product. It's something that you guys might be familiar with, or at least have heard a little bit about. So we're going to be presenting one thing there, but when we're not presenting, we will be on the other side of the table, and we will be broadcasting the entire thing. Not a lot of you guys can leave work, get to Nashville, Tennessee to be able to attend this, but we don't want you left out. So We will be streaming and broadcasting this entire thing, the entire Saturday from start to finish. We're going to mix in interviews. We're going to have presentations. And if they're bad presentations, I'm letting everybody know Friday night. If they're bad presentations, we're going to be critiquing it during it. You cannot give me that kind of low-hanging fruit and not expect me to take a bite of that. So, yeah, we're going to be, yes. To answer your question, yes, we will absolutely be all over this. All right, Belle, got to get to a song. Let's do 1, 2, or 3. You pick the song. We're going to get it out. We'll be back with your questions, guys, and we're going to be back talking value proposition of Egis. And I really need your input on this, man, because I'm literally at a fork in the road here. I would love to hear your viewpoint. Belle, 1, 2, or 3, that's the song we're playing.
Oh, 1.
1. All right. So, personal favorite of mine, an absolutely legendary musician. I'm not going to introduce it. I don't have to. I got a hunch you're going to know who this is. So, guys, if you could, please stand by for a couple minutes. We will
say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Belle got to hear that one. So I'm on fire right now, Belle. Questions, go.
All right, Jake Gall, what does XRP do?
What does XRP do?
Mm-hmm.
It's as it's in its current incantation, and by the way, a lot of big banks that you're probably familiar with actually do use XRP. One of the banks, I'll throw out a name, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo uses it for international monetary settlements, and there's a lot of action on it. Let's just put it there. Now, is it really going to blow out? No, because the price of the token is irrelevant to your person's ability to use it. That is the big that's a big hang up in crypto that a lot of people miss, man, is like the people using it really don't give a shit what the price of the token is. It doesn't matter. It will still work. The Flexa SDK will still work for us regardless if the price is .00001 because the supply is so big, or if it's $1.08, it really doesn't matter to the tool. And this is something that a lot of people in crypto seem to miss is they think the only effective way to use it is if the token's through the roof, and that is not true. It's not true at all. Jackal will function perfectly, whether that token is $2.90, which, by the way, I'm a big fan of, or is a penny and a half. It doesn't matter. The protocol doesn't care. The protocol is basing everything in with the dollar sign, so it doesn't really matter. As long as enough tokens are available to perform the transaction will go. That's XRP. That is the value prop of XRP that everybody just seems to skip. It doesn't matter if you use what the value of it is. It doesn't matter. As long as the supplies exist to transfer it from user A to user B to settle a to settle a monetary debt, then that's it. It's done. And that is the primary use of XRP. Is that thing going to hit $8? No, it won't. There's a reason that it's been flat for so long, even though it's still been used for so goddamn long. There's a reason that it didn't. It bloomed and gloomed as soon as we got the resolution on the SEC settlement. As soon as the SEC came in and said, "Yeah, you know what? We don't." The judge came in and said, "Yeah, you guys can go fuck yourselves. It doesn't matter. You're wrong on this case, and it's not a security." And off we go. And the price still hasn't moved. When are people going to wake up? All right, what is out there, and it's going to be kind of hovering about where it is, and it's not going to boom because you're still not chasing fucking consumers. You're still not chasing 8 billion people out here that are going to make it rain on you if you can provide a fucking service to them. But we still ignore it over and over and over. I've said this on this show endlessly. People double down on stupid, and that's what we do here in crypto. We're right. Everybody else is wrong. Belle, carry on, please.
All right, next one coming in from Drew. Do you ever discuss crypto taxes?
No, I have a guy for that. If you guys are really, really curious about crypto taxes, and I could put 50 people in the audience that want to hear all about crypto taxes, I'll bring you a crypto tax specialist, and he will answer all of your questions. But until then, yes, I have a guy. I recommend you get a guy. And there you go. Belle, carry on, please.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, because taxes are scary anyway, those get paid out until Scott has night sweats. I mean, just
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the amount of taxes that I pay on this shit. I'd rather do that just to get the government to fuck off. I want to know. I want you guys. I want to be real clear where I am here. I just want them to fuck off. So if I have to overpay, I overpay. I hate doing it because that's capital that I could put to work. But I can't because the government's holding it, and I'm going to wait for a refund, which could be 9 months, 18 months, or never. That's the world that we've chosen. But I want them out of my business as much as possible. So I give to the point of night sweats. If I was divorcing the government, they would get 80% of everything I have just to fuck off. I'm fine with that. Just leave me alone. Give me 20% of what I have right now, and I can build it back up because I understand this market and because I've been doing this for a long, long time. So I could do it again. But whatever it takes to keep them out of my business, I'm more than happy to go ahead and do that. Belle, carry on.
all right. Deep House Nation hit us with a $4.99 super chat saying peace.
Yeah, that's what Belle gets. That's the only thing. I don't pay her. I've never paid her. It sucks, man. She makes about $8 a month with all of the live streams that we're doing up here. It's cruel. I'm sorry, Belle. I cut you off. Go ahead.
But anyway, he says peace. How about Egis gift certificates?
Egis gift certificates. You know what? I'm going to give you a round of applause because for some reason, we've been giving you guys alpha right here forever and ever and ever. And now I love the idea of gift certificates. I love the idea of rewarding people who share the app with their friends because one of the best features of Egis is file sharing. And the reason that it's such a great feature is because nobody knows you shared the file. Nobody knows where the file came from or who you shared it with. They don't know. And there are absolutely no file size restrictions if you use Egis. So for those of you who are sharing videos, large files, anything over maybe, I don't even know where email throttles you, Belle. What is it, about 50, 60 megabytes? They cut you off
It
and say
depends
no?
on the provider, but
Yeah.
usually 50 is kind of the
Sure.
average.
We'll let you share 12 terabytes. If you want to share a 12 terabyte file, you're more than welcome to share a 12 terabyte file. We don't have any restrictions, no file size restrictions on what we share with you or what you share with any other human. And the best part about the file sharing is that you still control the document, babe. All right, you don't want them to see it anymore, just hit unshare and they can no longer see the document or the video or the whatever the hell you shared. We don't give a shit. All we want to do is provide you a way to do it. So that is it's a huge feature of Egis. It'll be completely overlooked. People won't care. And it won't matter to them until they actually have to share a file. Now, here's where we actually see a little bit of value prop because you can only share it with other Egis customers. I'm sorry, man. Look, I cannot circumvent the laws of email. And if you're using Google or Gmail or any of that other shit, man, I cannot sit there and trump what they're doing. But if you send them the Egis link, this is actually really, really cool. If you send them the Egis link and they download the Egis app so that you can share a file with them directly, and it doesn't matter what size the file is, because Jackal provides is paying for the 2 gig accounts. I'm not paying for them. Jackal's paying for them. So they can get on and actively use Egis and use Jackal in a hot storage environment, and you can share a massive file with them. But that file is never actually on their account. It's very, very cool. It's never actually on their account. So the free 2 gig allows you to share a terabyte size file with that person, and it's no problem. We have no issue with that. All right. It's a beautiful, beautiful system. It's going to be overlooked. People aren't going to care until they need it. And but up until then, it's just going to be, we're going to be facilitating a lot of data transfers that we're not getting paid for. But that's okay, man. Look, it's all part of the business. Anyway, hope that answers the question. Bell, carry on.
Actually, that gift certificate question actually gave me an idea, which we'll talk about during our meeting with our devs this evening.
Yeah,
So,
we want to. We're all about downloads. All right, guys. Look, man, consumers, not investors. All right, users, not investors. That's what we're looking for here. So if we have to incentivize you to share the download link with other people, that is a very generic internet thing everybody's comfortable with, that we can track a little bit. Not the name of the person, because we don't fucking know and we don't ask, but if you share it with a person and a new count tunes up right after from the place that you shared it, what do you think, Bell, man? We got to sweeten the pot for them, right? We got to give them something for that. They're literally out there getting us customers. We have to give them something, right? We don't expect anybody to work for free, right?
well, I mean,
Are you gonna go crypto founder now? Yes, it's in your interest to do it because it makes us cooler than everybody else.
yeah,
we gotta give them some money or something.
I don't expect anyone to do anything for free, but I have ideas. We'll talk about those during our meeting. I'm not gonna give anything away before that.
See, and I want to give you money. I want to just pay you to be our ambassadors, man. Look, we need downloads, guys. Downloads. That's all we're about. I don't give a fuck if you invest. I care if you get people to download the app. And if you get people to download the app, I want to give you money. I want to give you money. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right. So Deep House Nation actually with that super chat asked 2 questions. The other one was, how long do you all think it takes rate cuts to affect and reflect velocity of money?
The entire market paradigm has changed, guys. All right, it's changed from 2020. It's changed from 2016. Everything that you thought was going to happen, it didn't. All right, look, we've been down this road before. Now, I am particular, and I'm speaking only for myself, not Egis, not ThePodocasts, not anybody. I'm speaking for myself. I hated the rate cut. I hated the half point 2 months before a goddamn very conscientious election. It seemed like a crisis cut to me. And even though they say inflation is under control, the grocery store seems to suggest it's not. And that's just me. So maybe your mileage may vary, but every bit of that seems to be absolutely wrong. Now, is Wall Street going to take advantage of it? You bet your ass, man, because they don't give a shit what a gallon of milk costs. It doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is having more capital that they can push out and turn into even more capital. That's all they care about. And as they continue to lower rates, and they're going to continue to lower rates, even though they should be raising rates, you have got to get this fucking currency out of the system. Guys, we are $35 trillion in debt. You can't even wrap your head around that much money. You can't even process how much debt that is. And by lowering rates, without a government spending cut, we're going to increase that number. I can't even process how they get out of this. The only way to get out of this much debt is a goddamn war, is hyperinflation or a big goddamn war, so that people forget about it. But until then, everything's gonna go up, man. We're gonna sit here and sprinkle fairy dust on everybody, tell you everything is well, but it's not. This is bad. So is it going to rev up Bitcoin every single month? We're going to be waiting for the rate cut. Is it going to be a quarter? Is it going to be a half? But I want you to think about the last time they cut this heavy, and that was 2008. That's when we cut this heavy, and that was during the financial crisis. That's when the world almost ended. The financial world imploded at that time. That's when they started cutting rates. But for some reason now, everything's cool. We got inflation licked. We're at an all-time unemployment high, even though we continue to adjust numbers based on what they said. And then we come back and say, yeah, actually it was 200,000 jobs under what we said. So even though all of this shit is happening right in front of you, Everybody's just kind of cool with it. So Wall Street knows what's going on. They didn't make that money by being dumb, man. They made that money by tiptoeing through the raindrops. I think that's in the position that we are. Bitcoin's going to hover 62, 64, anywhere in that range, maybe a quick tip down to 58 until the next Fed meeting, until we get into the rate cut area. I don't trust it, but I don't care, because Egis is coming out, and Egis doesn't give a fuck about what the rates are. Anyway, hope that answered the question. Bell, one more, and we got to get to a song.
All right, Jason Whale, and I'm sorry if I butchered your last name there, Jason. Drop the comment. It looks like Zashi Wallet might be the first to integrate Flexa's SKD. It's not a very popularly known wallet, but it's a start. Good luck with your integration, Scott.
Yeah, brother, and here's the kicker, man. And I don't know if you're active on the Reddit. I know I'm not well beloved over there, because I was the guy who was telling you to sell AMP at 6. I was like, get the fuck out, man. Look, they missed everything. Wallet integrations ain't gonna do it, babe. They're just not, man, because it gives you the ability to trade the token, maybe, but it's not it for you, man. What you need are apps. So if you spend any time over there on that Discord, which I'm banned from, or the Reddit, which I'm also banned from, the thing that gets you out of this are apps. That's the thing that gets you out of this, is providing a service and being paid for the service. I know you want Walmart. I know you want Amazon. I know you want all these things, but it's not going to happen. And people are not rushing to pay crypto. We're going to be getting a fraction of our actual customers right here, bro, are going to be paying with cash or credit cards. Those are the people that we're going to be getting. But we would love the crypto people. But if they don't know what we're doing here, or if they don't care, or if they're still stuck in their tribalist mindset, knowing that downloading our app and paying with Flexa is literally the value proposition for Flexa Network. If they don't know, then it's like it never happened, or it's never going to happen. So as much as I admire wallet integrations, how many more places do you really need this token to be able to be traded? It's on Coinbase. It's on central exchanges. It used to be on Crow. It's not on Crow anymore. They may be bringing it back someday. But the value proposition for the AMP token is people fucking using Flexa. And if you were ever going to pick up the charge, that would be, pick up the flag and start charging up the hill. That's what you should be charging after. I know I'm not beloved in that community. I don't really care. What I care about is their data privacy, which we provide an option for, and the fact that you can pay with Flexa, which is a value proposition for that very token. It just seems like it comes out of a slot. So if you're going to spread any message, that would be the one to spread. Doesn't matter if you like me. It matters, do you value privacy, and do you want to support the product of the token that you support? That's it. Anyway, hope that answered the question. Bell, one more. Got to get to a song. Go.
All right. L.A. Ramon, are you bullish on AMP again, Scott?
Nope. I don't really care about the token, and I'm sure I was clear on this up till now, brother. I don't know when you joined. I know you've been around. I know the name, dude, so I know you've been around the show for a while. You know what? I'm going to give you a round of applause for supporting us all this time. Am I bullish on the token? I would be bullish on the token if they would stop trying to do the DeFi shit they're doing with the AMP and the Anvil and the governance and all this other shit, because they're late to the party, dude. Everything they're trying to do has been doing for 5 years, and it's all down. So whether you think that you've cracked the code, you really didn't. Cracking the code is apps, crypto apps. That's cracking the code, because we don't need Walmart to sign on to that. All right. All we need to do is build apps that people want to use. I think data storage is a great market. In fact, I know for a fact that it's a great market. You want to know why? 3 Mile Island is going to be opening up again. 3 Mile Island is going to be opening up again. It was bought by a private investor for $1.2 billion. They're going to bring that reactor back online because Microsoft signed a 20-year agreement with them to provide them power. What do you think they need all that power for, bro? Do you think they need it for Windows? No, they need it for data storage. I've spent my entire life working in this industry. These things are power hogs. and they are not stopping. This is the industry to get into. That's why we built Egis. That's why it's here. So everything that we're talking about could benefit Flexa, could benefit AMP, could benefit everything that's going on here, because it's a pure privacy, user, consumer-focused app. That's the way out. AMP doesn't need wallets, dude. All right? It needs apps. That's my message. I'm sticking to it. One more, Bell. I'm going to play a song.
Jake Gall, I want to avoid crypto taxes. Can your guy teach that?
The guy may be able to. I'll tell you what. Start sending messages, Bella at ThePodocasts.com. If we can get enough people that are interested, I don't want to waste his time either, man. He's a busy guy too. So I don't want to waste anybody's time. But if you, we can get, what, Bell, 15 people that are actually interested in crypto taxes?
Yeah, I'd
Is
say
that a good
15. I'd say
All right.
15 is a good manageable number.
If she can get 15 emails at bella@thepodcast.com, we will bring you a crypto tax expert. What he says is solid gold and consider it law. So if we can get 15 people that want to attend that stream, we will bring the guy on here and ask him anything that you want to ask. But until then, and I'm picking this one, Bell, because of the nature of the world that we live in right now, I consider the song very, very appropriate. If you guys could please stick around, we're going to be back. But until then, I consider one of the greatest rock bands of all time, the Kinks, and they have a message for you, so please stand by.
All the stories have been told of kings in days of old, but there's no England now. All the wars that were won or lost somehow don't seem to matter very much anymore. All the lies we were told, all the lives of the people running round, their castles are burned. I see change, but inside we're the same as we ever were. Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now. This wage day's a dream. What am I? What are we supposed to do? Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Now another century nearly gone. What are we gonna leave for the young? What we couldn't do, or what we wouldn't do, it's a crime, but does it matter? Does it matter much? Does it matter much to you? Does it ever really matter? Yes, it really, really matters. Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Living on a
really fun, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kids, welcome back to the podcast. I'm going to share a funny with you guys because we are all about value propositions. Let me share a funny with you guys. This right here is actually the funny, and it's this token. My screen is all screwed up, guys. I'm sorry, man. I don't have this dialed in anymore, but I'm not going to. The funny is actually right here. It's a little token called Power. That little token called Power Bottom Bell. Even though Jackal is kind of taken off right now, they had a really good space with Archway, and they launched the Outpost. And they're gonna. I've been spending a lot of time arguing with a lot of people. I don't really argue over price anymore, Sith Lord. Looking right at you, babe. I don't really argue over price anymore because I know how all of this is going to work out. Because I understand that where they're building, what they're building, and what that building is actually going to do and the value proposition of that building. So the fact that they're on Archway right now it's a little bit ludicrous to me because I don't think anybody's really spinning up on Archway. But I had talked to Marston over and over, man. The guy, he's next level smart. But I had talked to him over and over, and I said, "Look, man, you guys are taking forever to get that sumbitch built over there on Archway, man. Is this going to be every time, or is this just the first time?" And he said, "Yeah, it's just the first time, man. We got to figure out how to do it, and then once we do it." It's effectively a copy paste to take it from Archway to Neutron to Corium to Nibiru to Solana to Ethereum, which they already cracked. They cracked EVM. Did you guys know they cracked EVM? You didn't know they cracked EVM because you're not really caring about stuff like that, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. That's the great part of Jackal and the enterprise-facing aspect that they actually are is it doesn't matter whether you know or not. What matters to them is how much data is being pushed over to them. Now, you're only as decentralized as your most centralized component. And 95% of crypto out here uses AWS. Think about that. I want you to think about that for a second. They use AWS. They use the most centralized provider storage platform that exists, that's known to man. That is literally copying your data. It's part of the terms of service. You should really read those. That's literally copying your data, dropping it into the metadata layer, and turning it over to the US.gov. That's what's happening. This is fact. This is not conjecture on my part, guys. I've worked in this industry forever, so I know what's going on. That's why I've embraced Jackal the way I've embraced Jackal, because we can break the cycle just like that. All we need, one generation. All we need is one generation of people that have accepted that their data is their property. And as soon as we get that generation, man, it all explodes. So I'm cool waiting 6 months or 12 months for the price to really go to where it's supposed to go. But taking it back to that little funny little token right there with that funny little icon, which is called Power Bottom. And yeah, I buy an awful lot of that stuff. But the funny part about that particular token, the value proposition on that particular token is what is AXV, which is Astrovault. What is Astrovault going to do, and what is Osmosis going to do? Now, the funny part about Power Bottom is that I own effectively all of it. It was my token. I baked it on Start Cooking. You guys remember Start Cooking? They've fallen out of the waste. They launched their token, and then they rugged it, and they completely disappeared. That's what you expect out of here. But the smart contracts live on, because as long as Power Bottom lives on, that token does. So that token's going to move based on a couple of things. How many people are buying it? How many people are selling it? Not many, because I own practically all of the tokens. But it also depends on what Osmo does. So as long as Osmo is doing that right there, as long as they're doing that, then that little Power Bottom token is going to do exactly what you're saying seeing out of it. Now, we tried to dream up a use case for it because it's a meme, babe. That's all it is a pure meme token. We reached out to Sentinel because we literally put part of their app Sentinel. Hang on, I got to pull it out of my out of my backpack, guys. Here, I'm sorry. But we reached out to Sentinel and we said, hey, man, we're going to integrate your guys' VPN into our app. Could you maybe give us a call out? And they said no. They said, no, we're our own product. We don't need you. And yeah. So what we did was go ahead and integrate the app. We went ahead and integrated anyway. You guys see where it says right there, Sentinel VPN? Yeah, it's not Sentinel VPN now. It's PowerBottom VPN. So we we set it up in such a way that PowerBottom token is the thing that's going to be powering that VPN on our side. We'll pay them in Sentinel. That's the way that they made it. But it's open source and there's nothing they can do to stop us. So we're going to be floating the PowerBottom to pay off the Sentinel VPN, which is now the PowerBottom VPN. And we integrated effectively everything that they do into a single push of a single button in a single app that people just seem to not want to recognize that exists. So we get the value prop of the better Osmo does, the better PowerBottom does, the better AXV does, the better PowerBottom does, and the more people that actually download this goddamn app and hit that button, the better PowerBottom does. So, yeah, man, I think we knocked it out of the park on this one with a silly little meme token. So anybody who wants to know why I should own PowerBottom, that's why you should own PowerBottom. Anyway, Belle, carry on, please.
All right, last question for the moment coming in from Jake Gall, and I have actually got thoughts on this one. Do you think video games will be the best way to promote crypto and NFTs?
Woo! Go ahead, Belle.
All right, so Jake, I think in large part that depends on how those games are developed. The thing is, there are enough chains around. We're swimming in chains. We don't need any more new ones. If those games come around and they develop as apps on chains with a payrail that would allow non-crypto users to use them, and this applies to the NFTs available for in-game purchases as well, that would actually drive crypto and the NFT market as a whole. Okay, you cannot. I mean, only about 3% of the population is familiar with anything crypto related at all. Okay, in order to get the reach and the tech further out there, you have got to get the people that are using Steam, that are downloading games through their Apple, through their Android. Okay, that's the way to do it. If a gaming company that has that vision comes about, they will be successful.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you should say that because we've been getting really friendly with the gelato folks, just because they're fuck, man, they got the right mindset for this.
They do.
And they're going to be cranking out sack tap for us. Look, man, it's the stupidest thing I think I could ever dream up. But they completely embraced it and hugged it close to their bosom. And now they got me really, really excited. All it is you're going to kick a guy in the nuts for score. That's it. I mean, that's it. Sack tap. That's the game that they're going to be cranking out. Now, I hope it's ready for NFT Nashville because I said we're presenting one thing. We're hoping that we're going to be presenting two. And the second one is just going to be sack tap, man. Go kick a guy in the nuts. I've spent hours and hours and hours on YouTube watching people get hit in the nuts. I think it's hysterical. You can't help what you like. I like bathroom humor too. I think it's farts are funny. So, yeah, it's all in how it's presented. It's all in how it's marketed. And if they do this one right, and I believe that they're going to, with the in-app power-ups and the microtransactions and the things that Web 2 people are familiar with, and we market this over to a Web 2 group, purely as a proof of concept to say that everybody else is getting it wrong. You don't grind for NFTs. You don't grind for all this stuff. You grind because it's fun and it's funny and you want to see what's next. That's the way to grind. I'm saying this as a gamer. I'm saying this as a guy who's been a gamer. Dude, I played Meridian 59. I played that dungeon crawl shit on AOL. Anybody remember AOL? Don't even put your hands up. You know you don't.
I do.
But
You've got mail.
Yeah, you've got mail.
I was thrilled when they allowed that greeting voice to get changed, and I set mine to
You know what I thought
was
was the funny one? The funniest one was in that movie Euro Trip when it went beep beep mail motherfucker. I've been trying to find that sound effect. I got to get that because I want to put that up instead of the applause. I if you build a good game, doesn't really matter where it's built. If it can be built on blockchain, great, man. That's a value prop for it. If it can be built in the legacy world, great. That's a value prop for it out there. But it's got to be a good game, and that's the shit that blockchain, where they got it wrong. They assume that because they have a community, anything that they vomit out is going to be wholly accepted. And right now it's effectively trading card games that are NFTs, because now we're supposed to get really excited. Well, I got this fucking NFT, man, and now that's going to change everything. But they're not good games, man. That's the problem. It's got to be a good game. It's got to be a fun game. You want to see a fun game that at very basic graphics? Flappy Bird. You guys heard of Flappy Bird? Yeah, imagine if that was over here on blockchain. Imagine the millions and millions and millions of people that you would onboard over here. So, yeah, we're kind of hoping that we're going to get the proof of concept out there. I'm going to push the ever-loving shit out of it. If you like it, play it. If you don't, walk away from it. Doesn't matter. What matters is that it exists, it's fun, it's simple, and it's on blockchain, and it has a blockchain value prop. This is the shit that everybody is missing out here. Anyway, Belle, we got nothing else, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna tag onto that thought with, okay, guys, entertainment and porn are literally the biggest industries that drive change.
You said porn. You are nasty.
I did say porn.
You're a bad girl.
Naughty.
Naughty.
Who doesn't watch porn? I mean, come on.
Really?
Okay.
You're out. You're just doxing
Okay,
yourself
so
just like that. Huh?
Anyway,
Okay.
we had secret admirers that was amping everybody up, thinking they were going to be able to see adult content on blockchain. And yeah, that went really, and I'm being sarcastic here. That went really well, guys. So apparently the porn side of that industry is failing. It's up to the entertainment industry to pick that candle up and run it to the finish line.
I still don't understand how blockchain developers, how they're missing this. I mean, my God, what a natural symbiosis between crypto, blockchain that does not need to ask permission, and the adult entertainment industry, which has always driven innovation, always driven innovation. The first thing printed was not the Gutenberg Bible. The first thing that was mass produced was an erotic poem. 8mm cameras. The first thing that was shot on those was a girl taking her clothes off. How can you miss this? And my God, why are we building data storage when we could build a simple adult entertainment app? I don't even care if it's girls taking their clothes off. What about granny fans? All right, it's just a bunch of grandmothers that'll teach you how to sew on a button, that'll teach you how to make Swedish meatballs. You're gotta be shit me that there's no market for this, because that's shit that I would tune into every single goddamn day, because I don't know how to rethread a buttonhole. I have no idea how to do this, but they do. How could we miss granny fans? How could this pass blockchain completely? What the hell's the matter with you people? Anyway,
you know what? I was actually really shocked to find out there is a company called, and I mean, don't judge me, but yeah, I get told things by people who I don't want to hear them from. But there's a company called Kink B&B. Yeah, I got told that they are actually they're an Ethereum blockchain product. I went looking, and yeah, they actually are.
What circles are you swimming in out here, Belle?
The Ring Fair community.
Oh my God! There it is. Round of applause for the original deviants, I guess. I mean, Belle, what world are you? What? You knocked me
People-
speechless here.
People,
What the hell?
people talk to me, and I don't know why they're telling me all this stuff, other than they know that I do this show.
Do
But
they talk to you and say, "Hey, have you seen this porn video? Is that what's going on here, Belle? Should we discuss this offline or what?"
Thankfully, I have not been asked, "Hey, have you seen this porn video?" But I get a lot of, "Hey, did you know?"
But apparently they're pointing you in that direction. I'm wearing a Judy Hopps T-shirt. All right, look, man, we don't get dirty on this one. Apparently, you went a different way. All right, anyway. Anyway, guys, I appreciate your time tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow. I'll get a guest. I know you guys don't want to hear me just sitting here and ramble on and on about Egis, even though Egis will be launching a token. So for those of you who are maybe come by here for a little bit of alpha, that's a little bit of alpha. We're just saying keep that in mind. Wonderful time tonight, man. Look, we got to get because we got a meeting here in like 3 minutes. So appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We will have a guest. I'll tell you what, we'll bullshit. We'll talk about the AA DAO and Patricia and everybody else who's bullshitting up there trying to take your money. We'll talk about that if you want to. I don't really give a shit about that, but if you want to hear about it, sure, let's talk about that. Until then, and Telegram's going to give you your IPs, are going to give up their IPs of everybody who uses Telegram. So if anybody builders out here are looking for a true value proposition, why don't you build Telegram that's truly decentralized where you can't give up the IP address of the people who are using you? Why don't you, I mean, for fuck's sake, man, I don't think the fruit can be any lower than that. Anyway, Belle, talk us up, talk us out, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys, and that includes the new people we had in chat tonight. Again, the fantastic questions and comments keep us going. Now, with that being said, we are going to be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard. In between now and tomorrow night, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at